Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Faith and Purpose Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. She is my personal person. She's a wife, she's a mom, she's a life coach. She also pastors a vibrant young adult church called Ignite, and so much more. I have with me Pastor Yemisi Odusanya. Thank you so much, PM, for joining us today.
Oh my gosh, thank you for the invitation. Like, once you reached out to me, I couldn't help but to say, absolutely, you're doing so many great things, and I'm honored to be invited as a guest here. So thank you.
Thank you, PM. So we're just going to dive right in. I want people to know you on a personal level. We know you're a life coach. We know you're a mom. You're doing all this great stuff. You're a pastor. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself, maybe where you grew up or, some of your hobbies, something people may not know about you.
Okay, well, my name is Yemisi Odusanya. I was born and raised in Chicago. Anyone who knows me knows that I love Chicago. It brings so much to who I am as a person, and I try my best to go back as much as I can. I really am into wellness and taking care of yourself. As you mentioned, I'm in a lot of different projects, so I believe in working hard but playing hard. So taking care of your body. I love aromatherapy.
Yes, and you have the candle line. She also has her own candle line.
Love serenity and candles. Yes, I'm really about taking care of yourself, and as women, empowering other women. And I know you know a lot about that, Elga, because you do that so much. But I just love being a light to other people and shining the light on other women. So that's really all it is about me.
That's wonderful. And I thought about the topic for today, courage, and resilience. And you were the person that came to mind because you're such a strong woman and you've been able to juggle so many balls. You forgot to say that you're a mother of twins, so she's pastoring. She has this amazing career. She also has twin boys, and it's a lot. And you've been able to have a good head on your shoulders doing all of that. So before we dive right into the questions, we're going to go through a fun icebreaker activity. Again, it's called This or That. And you can tell us why you prefer the one over the other, or you could just go right in. So the first question is, do you prefer tea or coffee?
Oh, tea all the way. I am really coffee. I think I've tasted coffee maybe once in my life, but I'm not for that life. I've heard that it stains your teeth. I know that's kind of thing, but tea is my thing.
Yes, love tea as well myself. So, I know the answer to this, but do you prefer wearing wigs or natural hair? Because I know everyone is pro natural hair, Johnny, and I tried it. It's so hard. So, do you prefer to just whip up a wig on your head and be on the way, or you're into the natural hair thing?
Well, my hair is natural underneath my wig. But I prefer wigs, sew-in, protective styles.
Nice. And do you prefer comedy or romantic movie, or a bit of both?
Oh, a good chick flick will do it.
Nice.
The only thing is I gotta convince my husband to watch
it with you. You know that feeling. What about working style? Do you prefer working from home or in the office? Now, basically, when the world was normal, working from home was quietness, no kids, no hubby. But now in the new normal, working from home means also having others around in the house. So before we went into the pandemic, would you prefer working from home or in the office?
Well, actually, before the pandemic, I did a little bit of both. I went into the office a couple of days and I worked at home. And that worked for me because I'm a people person. I like to be around people. So now, even though I work from home, I'm doing video chat and calling because people were so used to just coming in and out of my office and spending time. So I like a combination of both.
That's an excellent answer. Yes, combos are always good. Last question. Do you prefer text or calls, and why?
Well, I think it depends on who I'm talking to. It depends on the person. So people that I've established a good relationship with, I like to pick up the phone, hear your voice, hear the emotions. And now since the pandemic, I'm quick to video call people because, like I said, I'm a people person. I like to read their body language. That's the best way I can do it.
That's amazing. Thank you. That we're able to get to know you, on a more personable level. So thank you for going through that activity.
That was fun. I enjoyed it.
Nice. So now we're just going to dive right in. Today's topic is courage, building confidence to achieve your purpose. I know that sometimes we talk about purpose, but sometimes people need to understand, how do I even get there? What skills do I need? What kind of attitude do I need? For me, as a young girl, I grew up in West Africa for the first 16 years of my life. I always equated humility with timidity. Oh, you just have to be a girl, just stay quietly, don't speak. And you hear quotes like, women are supposed to be seen and not heard. And so coming to America and being around people who were very assertive was just such a different atmosphere for me. So it took me a little bit of time, especially in the workplace, to kind of build confidence and kind of be able to speak my mind and say what I want to say. So I think I'll just go into the first question. My first question is, what does courage mean to you, or what does it mean for a person to be courageous?
Wow, that's loaded. Courage can mean so many things, but to me, it really means pushing through and getting to where you need to be in the midst of fear.
Mm,
Because the only reason why you can be courageous is if there's fear there, if it exists.
exactly.
My husband, he talks about courage all the time, and he's a courageous man. Um, you know, and he says that courage cannot exist without fear.
Mm,
And your faith is your relation to fear. So
mm,
having faith allows you to overcome fear.
yeah,
And without fear, you can't be courageous. And in
exactly.
order to be courageous and to conquer your fear, you have to have faith. So that's the biggest thing for me. He talks about the hall of faith all the time. Hebrews 11.
Yeah.
And there's so many different stories in there that he's actually used to kind of encourage me in times where I do have fear. And he's like, you got this. Remember this person. Read through Hebrews 11. You'll see so many different stories. So for me, that's what courage is. It's just pushing through, even especially when there's fear.
That's amazing. The element of faith versus over fear, and how you talked about the heroes of faith. That is just so amazing. So faith conquers fear, and faith is what you need. This is a podcast, of course, about faith, to overcome the fear. So this is all about telling stories. Just tell us about a time in your life where you had to build confidence or you faced opposition, and how did you overcome that hump of that season?
Oh wow! I mean, there's so many instances. As a black woman,
Mm,
a minority, and someone of Nigerian descent.
descent, yeah.
You always. I feel like you always have to, hold on to pushing through. I think
Mm,
that growing up in here, especially because my name was different, I
mhm.
looked a little different. Different people couldn't figure out if I was Jamaican, if I was. They didn't know. They just said, the Jamaican girl. But I think just understanding your worth and being able to understand what God's purpose is for that season. I'm really
Exactly.
believing that your purpose is it's in seasons. You don't have
Exactly.
one purpose for your life. Every season
Hmm. Hmm.
has a different purpose. And I think what has helped me is the people that I kept around me, encouraging
Mm,
me, building me up. Once you hear things over and over and over again, it becomes your truth.
yeah.
Walking in your truth builds that confidence. So I'm not going to be the smartest person in the room. I'm not going to be the prettiest person in the room. I'm not going to be the fastest person in the room. But what I am going to be
Own your
is myself.
truth.
And I'm
Yes.
owning that with my flaws and everything.
That's amazing. Being confident in who you are, yourself, your skin, and being proud of who you are. Like you said, with all the different things and the different elements that make you you,
Mhm.
as a Nigerian American, a woman living in Chicago. I like the way you just responded to that. That's
And I
amazing.
do want to note something because you did ask me to tell a story, and I've
Hmm.
mentioned this story before. I remember, even in my professional experience, because I'm a woman of color and I like hair and I like doing my hair different ways. I've had people, or one person in particular, comment about my hair as
Oh,
far as the style, and I've had to embrace who I am and let them know that regardless of what you're comfortable with, this is who I am.
Exactly.
And my hair does not define who I am, or
Mhm.
it does not play into the stereotypes of
Exactly.
whatever you may have. And I think being confident in yourself and being able to address it in a respectful manner
Mm.
helps build your confidence even more. So the next time something happens, you know, you built up your muscles to just keep moving.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you, PM. We call her PM, Pastor Yemisi. So we'll go into something and I'll share stories about resilience, right? As women, we have to go through a lot, be it childbirth, be it just, being married for the first time and having to deal with in-laws and all of that. How can people build resilience? For me, I know I had some challenges with childbirth. I had to have all my three children through cesarean section, and with the second I had pregnancy induced high blood pressure, and with the third I had diabetes. So that was a tough time for me. And for me, being part of a support system, the church that I'm in, Ignite, and having that, like you said, the circle around you to just encourage you, that helped me through that hump. And thankfully I'm diabetes free now. But how can you, or what advice would you give people who need to be resilient in a season or during a tough time and know that it's only for a while and they can overcome?
Yeah, and you know, you brought up a great example that a lot of women go through. I think in
Mm,
order to build resilience is to understand that what you're going through is a season, and
mm,
every season changes. No season lasts forever. It may seem like forever, it may seem like a long period of time,
yeah.
but every season changes. And just understanding that whatever it is you're going through right now is to
Mhm.
help you overcome what you're going to go through in the next season, right?
Mm,
Because every situation or every challenge that you go through is building you up for your
the
next level.
next season.
Yeah,
Mm,
and the next level of your life is going to have a different type of challenges. You know, I
exactly.
remember when I first came out of when I first moved to the DMV area and I was living on my own. You know, I really enjoyed being independent, but that required that I had to manage
Pay
my
bills.
finances a little bit,
Exactly.
pay bills, you know, be able to, you know, manage, you know, my spending funds. So I
Mm,
can't go out every single time with my girlfriends, and I can't,
yeah.
you know, go shopping as much as I want. And
Mm,
that taught me discipline. That's so key because when I moved to the next level, that discipline was already established. That
exactly.
budgeting was already there. So I really think building resilience is overcoming the challenges, the situations that you are to help you get to the next level. And after every storm, there's another season of glory. There's another summer coming.
Ooh, I love that. I'm going to take that quote. After every storm, there is another season of glory. That's amazing. That's a quote right there. Got to share it with everyone after this. Um, so that segues into my next question, for young women, especially you have a lot of young women coming into your church as a millennial church, as a young adult church. How can women boost their self-confidence? You talked about hair. I know a lot of women are like, I don't like the color of my skin. I have a specific cousin, she's out in Texas, and when she was younger, she asked her dad, why am I so dark? And her dad had to explain, you're beautiful, black is beautiful, and I like that we have celebrities now saying, like songs like Beyonce, brown skin girl, and all of that stuff, but what advice, what resources? Hi, I can see your twin.
This is one of my turns. This is Tade. But go on. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. She's a mom too. So again, this is real life, and we have moms that come on the show, and it's such a blessing. And we love you, Tade. So, what advice will you give young girls, really, who are struggling with self confidence, or resources you could recommend?
Well, I think it's important to go back to the foundation, and because I'm a woman of
Mm,
faith, my foundation
yeah.
is the Bible. You know, the Bible tells us in Psalm, I think 139:14, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Mm,
So you may not look like the other person. You may not be as light as them. You may not be as tall as them, as slim as them,
mm,
but you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And as I mentioned before, repeating those things to yourself, every time you hear that over and over again, it becomes your truth. You know, I remember
mm,
a pastor coming to, I think it was Jesus' house a while ago, and he was just talking about, I mean, this man was pretty short, but like when he stepped on the pulpit,
It's like a
it was like he was
powerhouse.
a giant. Oh my God. And he said, anybody taller than me is too tall. Anybody
Oh,
shorter than me is too short. Anybody bigger than me is too big. So in other words, he's defined himself as
mm,
God's called him to be. So
mm,
my advice to anyone who's dealing with, image issues is
yeah,
because of the scripture that you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
yeah,
Also reminding yourself about that on a continuous basis, right?
mm,
You have to put quotes up in front of your mirror so that
mm,
every morning you have to look at those words of affirmation.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
okay. It's important to listen to things that are encouraging. Be around other confident women. I am so
Yes,
big on mentorship. Mentoring
yes.
is like a key thing for me. I have over 7 mentors, and each one
Wow.
pours into me something else.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at them, they're not all perfect. They all have, different flaws. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they are confident, the fact that they pour into me, the fact that they invest in me,
Mm.
reminds me that, you know what, you are worth something. And I
Yes.
think that's what women, young women especially, need to do. I've had mentors from a very young age. And I think
Mm.
that has helped me build up my confidence and my ability to speak on different things, because I
Yeah.
have people constantly speaking to me, telling me you can apply to that job, you
Mm.
can go to that school,
Mm.
you can start that business. That's all because I've heard it over
Yes.
and over again. So
Oh,
surround yourself with positive people. If you got to listen to a positive podcast like this one,
yes.
you don't do that. It's
Yeah.
what you put into your mind. That's
Mm.
what eventually comes out.
That's amazing. You touch upon something, mentorship and having people that you can speak to and can pour into you. You know, you're a product of amazing mentors that have guided you through the years. You know, so give us some resources. What resources or what kind of mentorship opportunities or coaching resources
Okay.
that people and she, by the way, just opened up or started out her own website coaching services. Her
Yeah,
website is www.iamyemisi.com. So, you know,
absolutely.
in
Thank you for
addition
that
to your,
plug.
yes, in addition to your life coaching, you know, what else would you say people can do?
I would absolutely say, surround yourself with mentors. I mentioned that before. That's so important to me. Listen to messages that are
Mm,
encouraging, and they don't all have to be faith based, but messages that get you excited about where you're going, right?
exactly.
Reading books, excuse me. I have a library of books, and every time I feel down, which we all go through,
Hmm.
even the most confident woman, the most
Yeah,
confident man, they have their downtime. What do? They surround themselves, they feed themselves with things to boost them up to where they need to be. So I
exactly.
would recommend, being a part of a mentorship program. My church has a wonderful mentorship program, the Young Mentoring Program. Why?
Hmm. Hmm.
Fabulous. And let me tell you, I've been a part of every single mentoring opportunity that I've had an opportunity to participate in. I've been a
Yes.
mentor. I've been part of YMP. I was a part of the
GLP.
first
Yes.
or her cohort of the Global Mentorship Program. And each one I've discovered so much about myself and about
Mm,
where God wants to take me. So again, reading books, inspiring books,
mm,
listening to messages, from pastors that you admire that
yeah,
focused on leadership, listening to podcasts like this so you can hear people's stories and then realize that you're not going through this by
different.
yourself, right?
Exactly.
And then having mentors in your life is absolutely key.
That is amazing. It's
And
been an
also having
app.
a coach. I didn't even talk about having
Yes,
a coach.
life coach. That's a segue into my next wrap up. Actually, you know, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. How can people get in touch with you? We know you're a certified life coach, and
Yeah.
you just opened up this website. So how can they get in touch for more inspirational content or actually one-on-one coaching services?
Please just go to my website. It's
Okay.
iamyemisi.com. You can follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
I am underscore Yemisi underscore. I love connecting with people. While I said I have many mentors, I also mentor a lot of people.
Yes, you
So
do. Yeah.
I just want to encourage people that, this race, this journey of life is not meant for you to go on it by yourself. So
Mm.
bring people into your cohort, bring people into your boardroom that can pour into you. And, if you need to talk to me, if you want a discovery call or consultation, reach out to me. My email address is yemisi at iamyemisi.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today. And I want to wish you a wonderful day, everyone, for listening. Thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful day. I will be back next month in March with another special guest. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.